Started recording. Okay, it's okay now. Well, as you remember, we talked about the verb fit in and so advantages of fitting in. We discussed it together. And now let's see if I can find a video that would be great. Just give me one moment to see if we have the video to watch it or nope. Okay, Oxford Discover. Just, can you hear me? Because I can't see you. I want to be sure that you can hear me. So, can you hear me?
Um, yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. Very
I
good.
can hear you.
Yeah, very good. You can. That's perfect. Okay, let me see. I think, yeah. No, unfortunately, we have the video, but okay, let's see. I try to, okay, here. Well, how can we develop empathy? So, first, let's talk about the word empathy. Do you know what is the meaning of it? Do you know what is the meaning of empathy and how to show empathy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know the meaning of this word empathy?
Well,
When somebody
you
shows
have a bad
empathy.
feeling for someone because um
Sorry?
hello?
Ah, I can hear you. I can hear you. I'm listening.
Okay. So I think that empathy like you give a bad feeling for someone because they had a bad day.
Yeah, somehow because they had about it. Like if I want to give it a good simple word, I say understanding, right? Understanding is empathy. So you understand how people feel and you put yourself in
Yeah.
another person's shoes. Of course, I mean
Hmm.
emotionally. And do you try to show, yeah? Do you want to say something?
I know.
That's okay because I feel like you want to say something. Okay. Do you try to show empathy, especially, when by listening and by supporting your friends, for example, or your family member? Oh, I feel like,
It
yeah.
it's cut.
Nathan, could you please log out and back in? I feel like, there is something maybe wrong. It's poor connection, or I'm not sure about it, but I can't hear you. It's like breaking up, lagging. So could you please, if you can
Yeah,
hear me,
sure.
thank you so much. Thank you. Well, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, very good. Well, so we're talking about empathy, and I ask you if you try to show empathy by just listening to others and understanding how they feel.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And how important, so I'm asking you, how important is to show empathy or is to be empathetic?
Mhm. I think that empathy plays a very vital role in our daily life because, it is one of the best ways to help somebody improve their mental health. And sometimes crisis negotiators use empathy as well.
Wow. Well, use empathy. Yes, maybe it would be better to use another word for it, but your answer was understandable and clear. Just let's talk about it a little bit. So, yes, another important thing is being, so you can also use adjective. So, that is empathetic. So, someone who shows empathy is empathetic. And as you said, you believe empathy plays a really important role in our daily lives. Okay, so you said very vital. Of course, you can say very vital is really important, but it's not here. So this is conversation, maybe vital, very vital. First of all, we can say very with vital because vital means very important. And very, so here is redundant, so it's better not to. So because we say some adjectives like great, like vital, like for example, actually some other adjective when we say significant, okay, they meant very. So significant is very important. Vital means very important. So I can't use very with vital, just vital. If I want to use very, I should say very important. So vital, very vital is redundant here, so you shouldn't. But you can normally we say not really important. So if you want to make it more natural, you can say really important, of course, why not? But you can say play really important role in our daily lives, and I do agree with you. And as you said, it's actually one of the best way to support someone's mental health, to support.
Yeah.
So, and they sometimes, even professionals sometimes use empathy to connect better with others. That is, yeah, pretty cool, I think. And I definitely agree with you. Just about vital, please avoid using very with actually these type of adjectives. Okay, let's keep going. Study the reading strategy, then read and listen to the article and choose the best answer, A or B. So let's see. Reading strategy says, could you please read this part, Nathan?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wait.
Identifying the author's purpose.
You read a nonfiction text, it will help your understanding to think about why the author wrote it. What is the main idea and what does he or she want us to think about? Does the text inform and teach us? Does it try to persuade and influence?
Yeah, okay. Well, just when we say nonfiction, you know that nonfiction text is based on real facts. So, based on real facts. It's not a story. It's not like we can something made up, okay, or imaginary. It's real. And now we want to read and listen. Just let me see. The article is here. Okay, I will play. I want you to listen. If you need, of course, you can check the text, and then we will choose the best answer together. Just one moment. It's like this one, I think. Okay. Number one, two. Let me check this one.
Oxford Discover Futures, Student Book 3, by Jane Wildman. Published in copyright, Oxford University Press, 2020. CD 1. Unit 1, page 6, Exercise 2.
Lives with a Difference. Augie Pullman, the main character of the story Wonder, is like any other 10-year-old boy. He loves riding his bike and playing with his Xbox. He loves ice cream and soccer. He also has a great sense of humor. Yet when Augie starts at a new school, he feels anxious. Like all new kids, he's eager to fit in. He wants to be part of a group and find people who he has something in common with. It's a challenge for anyone, but for Augie, it's a big problem. On the inside, he's the same as everyone else, but on the outside, he's very different. Augie has a rare genetic disorder, which has permanently disfigured his face. He's had 27 operations, but he will never look like other kids, and he thinks he will never fit in. Wonder follows Augie's day-to-day life at school and at home. It describes the friendships he makes. It also describes how people react to his appearance and how he copes with it. By the age of 10, he's gotten used to people's treatment of him. He's used to the stares and the comments, but there are times when he still feels embarrassed. Wonder is a powerful story because it is written from Augie's point of view, so we see the world as he sees it. We empathize with him, and we feel his pain as he struggles to be accepted. Stories in books and movies often use a first-person narrator, which helps to develop our empathy and our ability to understand others. These stories take us on imaginative journeys into other people's lives. In Wonder, we identify with Augie. He's an outsider, someone who is different from us, but we are able to share his feelings. Our ability to understand other people's lives is important. People are social animals, and we need to make connections with each other. However, a recent study of a group of teenagers showed an alarming trend. Psychologists found that there was a 40% drop in empathy among the group, compared with teens in the 1980s. The conclusion was that most teenagers today are only interested in themselves. They need to practice empathy more. Some schools in the U.S. are addressing this trend with classes in empathy. In one school in Seattle, a parent takes his or her baby to a class every week. The students sit in a circle around the baby. As the baby crawls around and explores, the students have to imagine how the baby is feeling. They have to notice body language and facial expressions. Then they try to see the world from the baby's point of view. The students who take these classes improve their kindness and compassion as well as their empathy. In Wonder, Augie has a great teacher named Mr. Brown. Every month, Mr. Brown teaches the students a new rule about something really important. In Augie's first class, the rule is about empathy and compassion. When given the choice between being right or being kind, says Mr. Brown, choose kind.
Yeah. Actually, it's really good topic to talk about how to show empathy, especially when it comes to people with disabilities. So, because not everyone can do this, like I'm asking you, do you agree that we need to have totally different behavior towards people with disabilities? So, whatever it is.
Actually, I think that we should treat people with disabilities with as much empathy as we can because they're all already in a state where nobody wants, and which is terrible for them. And we don't want that to happen to us as well. And we gotta treat people how we want it to be treated.
Yeah, of course. Definitely agree with you. But as I told you, not everyone can do this. We feel like that, okay, we can, but sometimes so we find it so difficult to treat people in a way that we want others to treat us. So it's not really. So we should treat others with as much empathy as possible, as you said. So you say with as much as empathy as we can. So possible is better as possible because they're already going through so something no one would ever want to experience. So let me correct this. I would go for this phrase. Just let me type it on the board. Yours was completely okay and understandable, but maybe you can just use this. They're already going through something no one would ever want to experience. Yes. And it's really tough, hard, tough. It's really tough for them. And of course we wouldn't. So I want to give you a good idiom that we normally uh use a lot to actually to be in other shoes. So you can say we wouldn't want to be in their shoes either. So we wouldn't want to be in their shoes either. Okay. So yes, it's really tough. It's not really easy. So people can understand. So the way that we've got to treat people actually is the way that we would want to be treated. So it's really important. Well, and now, uh, let's see, let's choose. The author wrote the text to teach us about something or recommend a textbook. So what do you think? Which one can be?
Mm, I don't really know.
So, okay, to teach us some about something, recommend a good book. So let's review what we had here. Look, when you read a nonfiction, so of course, exactly the same as what we just read, it will help you understanding to think about why the author wrote about. And what is the main idea? So, of course, so why the author needs to recommend a textbook? Of course, the text was about something. The author tried to teach us about something. Don't you agree?
Uh, Teach us about something.
Of course, definitely, definitely. Okay, and the next one, the author separates his or her ideas with okay, statistics and examples from real life or strong personal opinion.
A.
Definitely yes, because as I told you, it's based on real fact. This is non-fiction. text, so there is no opinion, personal opinion here. It's completely based on fact, reality, and the author wants us to think about A or B.
B.
Definitely, yes, you're right. Okay, now let's answer these questions. What is the reader's first impression of Augie, and why does the writer introduce him in this way? Do you remember, or you need to check it again? What is the reader's first impression of Augie, and why does the writer introduce him in this way? So let's see, the first Augie is, let me find it. So, Augie Pullman, the main character of the story, Wonder.
Feels anxious.
Uh, no, let's read this part together. It's really good part, so let's read it again. Let's review what we just read. Augie, the main character of the story Wonder, is like any other 10-year-old boy. He loves riding his bike and playing with his Xbox. He loves ice cream and soccer. He also has a great sense of humor. Yet, okay, when August started at his new school, he feels anxious. But here, just like this part, the beginning. Actually, here, this part states Augie and shows Augie, introduces Augie as a normal person, normal 10-year-old boy despite having disability. So it's really good, interesting that you want to talk about disabilities, but you start your story with something normal. Like, okay, despite being disabled, Augie is a normal 10-year-old boy, loves riding bike, and who does the same things other 10-year-old kids like. So this is the beginning. And why this shows he is normal, even though he looks different. Do you agree?
Yeah.
So why here we understand, we get why author started, began the story and introduced the main character this way. The other want to show that, okay, you can have different look. You can be different, but you are normal, still normal. Okay? So this is the
Yeah.
answer. Yeah. And number two, could you please read it and tell me what you think about it?
Um, I think that the writer introduced him in this way to show that everyone can have different looks and to maybe let the readers show empathy.
Actually, the beginning doesn't mean, like, it's not about empathy. You know what? Oh, we are
Hmm.
running out of time, so let's log out and back in. So before yeah, okay, let's log out and back in again. We will keep going. Okay, let's see, because there is no time. Let's log out.